Hi, I'm Gina, and if you're new here, I'm a registered nutritional therapist who has also been vegan for almost a decade. And when I first went vegan, it actually took me a full year to commit to it 100% of the time. I was at uni, I was also learning to cook for myself for the first time and budget and do all the things. And so it was definitely a huge learning curve, but so worth it because now I have such a good understanding of how to make meals that fill me up, are tasty, and also support my long-term health. And I also got a pretty good understanding of what it is like to be that newbie that has literally no idea what they're doing. I would go to the market and literally just buy like one mushroom because I didn't like them. I was trying to teach myself to like them, and I would eat that one mushroom over an entire week. So I've been there. I always found watching what I eat in a day is super helpful around that time to show me the different ways that you can eat a healthy plant-based diet. And now that I'm fully qualified nutritional therapist, I can understand why, because there is this kind of solid evidence-based framework that every healthy diet should be following. But within that, there's quite a bit of wiggle room for what is best for each individual person. And this is the kind of framework that I use when I'm planning my meals for the week. I'm not just thinking about convenience or taste or even just purely macro and calorie goals. I'm thinking about how my choices are going to support my future health. I'm thinking, where is the fiber? Where is the plant diversity? Am I eating low saturated fats? Because these are the things that we see time and time again in the research, that these small daily decisions add up over decades and really can improve your longevity and extend your life. And that is why I do strange things like add veggies or even sometimes lentils to my oats, not simply for an aesthetic goal, which absolutely these things can help with. They can help you feel fuller so you're less likely to snack. We can lower the calorie density of a meal, but because adding veggies and legumes is one thing I can do that could extend my longevity, could prevent chronic diseases. And I see every time I eat as an opportunity to nourish my body. You can see from my last video that when I meal prep, I'm not necessarily prepping these, little perfect boxes of full entire meals. I often prep these kind of building blocks. So maybe a batch of a whole grain or a sauce or some roasted vegetables. And that way I can mix and match the components to create something completely new. And that way I don't get bored. This chickpea salad was a perfect example of this. It worked so well on toast, but also in my nori wraps, and it also would have worked super well on a jacket potato or in a salad bowl. Interrupting regular scheduled programming to tell you that tomorrow I'm in the office. So I am making lunch to take with me, breakfast too, because I have to be in at like 8 in the morning and I like going to the gym in the morning. So I'll get up, I'll have my little chia pudding starter, head to the gym, and then drive to work and then eat my oats. My desk made like a little salad. At the minute it's just got some of that lettuce that I prepped, some spinach, some grated carrot. I'm gonna add a half of the sweet potatoes that I've just roasted up in there, some sauerkraut, some kale, more of these beanie beans as well because they need to go, and obviously more of my dressing. You'll also see later in the week I use the dregs of this salad dressing as a pasta sauce to kind of use it all up. I also follow a kind of rolling meal prep style whenever I can, which basically just means that if I'm cooking a sweet potato like I did today, I'll chuck a few extra in the oven. So I've got one tomorrow, the next day, right ready to go. Same thing if I'm cooking some rice or some lentils, I'll cook extras and then it's right ready to go. Utilize those moments when you actually have the time. One food that is surprisingly easy to meal prep is pancakes. So you can make them a double portion for the next day, simply put them in a takeaway pot, have them cold. You can even freeze them and pop them in the toaster. I make them using whole oats, banana, a little bit of protein powder, maybe some flax or chia to hold them together. And it's super delicious, you're getting a whole grain in there. So meal prep doesn't have to be boring or complicated, it can simply be making a double portion of whatever it is you're making today. The last day of the working week, and I clearly was so wiped out, it being a Friday night, that I completely forgot to film my dinner, but we do have this beautiful live photo of my tofu banh mi. So you might have noticed that I've been starting most of my days with a chia pudding that also had some kiwi in it. If you want to find out more about that, go and watch my last video on my meal prepping for the week. But basically, I just wanted to give my gut a little bit of a boost, and I had these dregs left on Saturday morning, so I turned it into a little smoothie bowl, which was delicious. We're at the end of the week now. If you've stayed for this long, thank you so much. I think by now you can see that I eat fairly intuitively, but I also know which foods fuel my gut, balance my energy, and keep me feeling my best. Intuitive eating isn't actually about just eating all of the foods that your brain wants all the time, it's about listening and learning and finding that balance.